Hello, and thank you for watching the short subject. It's all about the context, finding the right question. Now, we've already talked about the fact that cognitive systems are effectively just a simple process of taking a set of facts in the form of unstructured data, asking a specific question, and having that system produce an answer for you. And we also talked about the fact that the system can ingest lots of different forms of facts that it can use to develop those answers for you. So it can use enterprise level information, regulatory data, brand information, social media and sentiment data, as well as general alerts and knowledge databases of threat feeds and known problems. So the problem, though, is that when you ask a question, you're asking a question and you're thinking like a human. You're thinking that when you ask a question, the answer it's going to give you is already going to be in context. So there's going to be some structure because you understand the purpose of the question you're asking. But in an unstructured realm, where you're ingesting lots of prose, and the system is not necessarily a mind reader, nor is it context aware initially, it's very hard for that system to figure out what it is you're trying to talk about and ultimately give you the very specific answer among the myriad choices available the first time. So really, when we talk about facts, questions, and answers, we're talking about proper context, a context-aware question, and delivering then an accurate answer. And the context is so incredibly critical. So for example, let's say you ask the question, what time is it? Now, you may live on the East Coast of the United States, so when you ask what time is it, the answer you're expecting is something that is relevant to you. But let's say you're asking this of a system that isn't in the United States. Let's say it's in Asia or in India. The answer it's going to give you back may not be the answer you're expecting because it doesn't know, are you asking it what time it is where the system is, what time it is where you are, or what time it is somewhere else. So you'd have to say, what time is it right now on the East Coast of the United States? Let's look at another example. How do I make a hole? Now let's say this cognitive system is trained about shovels and laser beams and drills and everything in between. The answer you're going to get back could be absolutely anything. It will probably be a set of possibilities because it doesn't understand the question itself. Now, many systems out there, well, at least a few systems out there, have the ability to ask you back, to refine the question. Well, what do you mean? I understand you're asking, how do I make a hole? How do I take a specific action and create something? But can you give me more information about it? So now you can say in a wall, and the system can then eliminate possibilities that would be less relevant. You could use a shovel to make a hole in a wall, but that's not very feasible, practical, or common, so chances are that's not going to be an answer it would return now. Now let's talk about something in context to security. Which offense is most significant? Now, think about it in the context of how do I make a hole and what time is it? Which offense is most significant? Think about what the system would have to know in order to answer that question in a way that is relevant to the security operator that's sitting at a console who wants to know. It would have to understand current events. It would have to understand sentiment. It would have to understand who your primary threats are and where your crown jewels live and what your crown jewels are. And it would have to have enough data sources from enough different places to be able to answer the question accurately. Because if it doesn't have all of that information, if it just has, for example, CVS scores from a vulnerability scan, it's only going to be able to answer you by ordering the CVS scores highest to lowest and tell you which systems have the highest potential vulnerability. And that's not really the question you're asking, nor is it really the purpose of a cognitive system, because you can get that data very easily by just pivoting a table or a report in an existing vulnerability system or security intelligence system. So the most important thing to understand with cognitive systems is the quality of the answer is going to depend exclusively on the quality of information you're putting in and the context you're providing with the question that you ask. Thank you.